Check, check, microphone check, and we're back. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Growin Samoan podcast. It's me, your boy again, your host Henry Willie, here on this beautiful. It's a Sunday right now, evening. Trying to get in this quick podcast for all you Growin Samoan listeners out there. Um, like I said, it's gonna be a couple solo vids. This is another solo vid. Once again, I'm outdoors. Chala's in the background. Hi, hon. Hi. She's in the background here, but I'm gonna do the solo one. But she's here still because she loves me and she's just coming to support. But next episode, we got big things planned out. Big major topics we're gonna discuss about that can help out a lot of people. Excuse me, in uh, their finances and stuff like that. So today's topic is going to be a good one. Today's show is going to be a good one, real quick one, but a nice good one that everybody can relate to. Um, First of all, talofa lava, aloha, malo lele, and hello and welcome to everybody just tuning in today to this podcast. If you're a new listener or watcher, please go and subscribe and check it out from episode one. You can go on any podcast station and check out the first episode and start from there, or you can go to our YouTube page, which is Growing Samoan or Growing Samoan, however you want to say it, y'all, and start from video one. And hopefully, each and every episode, you guys can gain something from it. I'm your host, Henry Willie, my lovely co host, Tyler. She's in the background, just relaxing. We're just going to enjoy this beautiful Sunday Northwest evening while we close it. Let me get a view here. If you go to the YouTube page, we're at a park because, like I said in the last episode, I like to get outdoors. So in the background, there's a park by it's a middle school park by our house. So yeah, just quick little walk out the door and boom, you're there, right? And then you can enjoy Mother Nature. Why? Because if you're from the Northwest, you understand that Mother Nature is very can be very hard on us. We only enjoy like sunshine like 3 months out the year. The rest of the year, you know it's cold and wet. Let me adjust this camera here. So let's see what we got going here on the agenda. Today's topic, I'm gonna talk about how how you can save money when you're broke. Yes, people, how you can save money when you are broke. So it's a big topic that or discussion that it's pretty much never talked about in a Samoan or Polynesian household, or not in mine, or when I was growing up. I had to learn that on my own, um, and not from any financial teacher or online books or reading. When I grew up, I had to learn how to just save just to survive for the next day or next week or whenever, because we never knew what tomorrow bring. We were poor. We were broke. We grew up on government cheese. If you guys remember government cheese, my family grew up on that block of cheese, and we had to deal with them and made ends meet with it. You got to cut it up, and you can make like grilled cheese sandwiches. Those those are bomb though. Growing up on welfare, we were a welfare household. Uh, a lot of our relatives, were on welfare and grew up in the projects. If you're familiar with the projects in the West Coast, it's a very very harsh, rough upbringing. You're surrounded by poverty, you're surrounded by other cultures, and you got to thrive within that society within your own heritage, your own culture, and try to adapt. But the people who are listening who have been through that struggle, whether it was from, you know, the poverty environment on the islands or over here in the States, it's a very rough upbringing. And a lot of us growing up in those certain circumstances or situations are broke or berserk, you know. So my topic of the day is how can you save money when you're broke? Well, this is something I had to learn at an older age. Now, you know, a couple of years ago, matter of fact, when I got financially educated, and the re the way that I learned that is pretty much what we talked about, pretty much from the first episode, in episode two, which is you have to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. That's how you can save money while you are broke. Because the key is to find some source of income, a job. You have to work. There's no such thing as um, living life not doing anything. You have to work. So while you're working, and a lot of times you think that you're broke and there's no way that you can save anything. Like say your money is already is gone into bills or payments or debts you owe. Well, that's the key thing. The key thing is to be able to pay yourself first. Number one is because while you're paying yourself first, and whatever it may be, your $5, $10, $15 every check, or wherever you may get your source of income from, while you pay yourself first, you're actually using money that you will probably use for junk, let's say junk food, or for things that just to pleasure you for entertainment. You know that money you could use to you know save up for paying off certain debts or saving up to invest in something. So when you're broke, like we all are growing up in this society that teaches us nothing about financial education, you got to learn how to pay yourself first. That's the only way I think to, you know, save money while you're broke. Because in reality, you could always save money. Trust me, people. Yes, there's a lot of things you guys, we all purchase that we really don't need. Um, Sometimes here's a tip: if you really think you want to buy something, a lot of people they wait like 48 hours. There's like a 48-hour rule where they they want something to buy, but they just tell themselves, okay, you know what? I'm gonna wait 48 hours and let's see how that goes. And after 48 hours, your emotions might disappear from wanting that certain thing, and then you might actually save your money by not buying that whatever thing you're thinking about, and you can save that money and invest it, or use that money and save it to pay off certain debts. So saving money while you're broke is really a mindset thing. When I really think about it, and you want to think about um, ways to get out of debt or to save up money to buy something you can invest in, like a home or a car, something that can really help you out in life. It's really a mindset thing. You have to train your mind how to say that, well, I'm not really broke. I have money, but am I really putting aside the money where it needs to be put? So, all in all, saving money while you're broke is possible. and anybody can do it. It's possible for anybody and everybody. Why I'm saying that is because I am a living example. I have done it. I am living proof, and I'm gonna tell you how I did it. So when I started my journey on financial education, I was in the negative. I wasn't broke. I was negative broke. So I was like in the hole. And the first thing I did when I learned was how to pay myself first. Now, paying myself first, I just decided, okay, there's a certain amount of money that I want to put aside every paycheck. And that certain amount was $50. I get paid every week. So I said, okay, I have to do this. I pay $50 or I pay all these other bills. I pay phone bills, cable bills, water, sewer, electric, garbage, whatever. Why shouldn't I pay something that'll help me out? So I started putting aside $50 every paycheck. And over time, and I never touched it because I didn't know what it was going to be for, but I knew that people were telling me to pay yourself first. And I said, okay, I'm going to start that. I'm going to pay myself first. And when I figure out what I'm going to do with it, then I'll do something with it. And as I started that journey, it was very hard. It was pretty hard. It was pretty difficult. I had to train my mind. I had to develop a mindset where I practiced how not to touch those savings. And it was sometimes I had to, sometimes I had to use it and say, okay, I'm an IOU. And it was something I didn't want to do, but I had to. And then I started all over again and I learned how to train myself to just never touch it. And as I did that and time went by, the pay myself first fund grew enormous. I mean, that $50 a paycheck turned into thousands. And finally, when I learned about getting out of debt and educating myself about that, boom, you know, I was I was good. I knew what to do with those funds, and it's been a pretty much an investment on me and Tala's journey. So when I say I've been through it, I've been through it because I was in debt. I was in the hole. I had no money, no savings, no nothing. But I decided that I was going to take this certain amount, pay myself first, and see what happens. So I was broke. We were broke, pretty much broke. Still living paycheck to paycheck, but I took that decision and I made a plan to save money while I was broke. And anybody can do it. I did it, so that's the only reason why I'm talking about it. I'll discuss about it because if I could do something and it can help me out, then hopefully it can help us, you listeners out there in the world, especially our Polynesian people, because we are not taught these things at home. We are not taught these things by our parents, by our schools, but this is something that we need to teach ourselves now and something that we need to teach ourselves, not only ourselves but our children. And a lot of people have that saying where it's just like, I can't save anything. I'm broke. I'm broke. And there was a good saying of it's I forgot the quote. I might be butchering it right now, but it was somewhat of the words of being being broke and being poor is different. When you're poor, you just don't have no money. But when you're broke, it's all in your mind. It's a mindset thing. I might be butchering that. I'll come back to that later and try to rephrase that. But pretty much, being poor is different from being broke. Like when you're poor, you're pretty much like you have no money. Your finances are low. But when you say you're broke, that's that's all a mindset thing. So change your mindset, people. Try and work on your mind and telling your mind that you're not broke. That's just all in your head. You're rich in your mind, your heart, your body, your soul. If you feel like you are meant to be more than what you are right now, or in a better place than where you're at right now, then you're already, developing a strong mindset. You just got to practice on it. You got to build it. You got to work it out. Start from your mind. You have to have a positive, strong, thinking mind in order for anything to move in your body. It starts from your mind first, your brain first, and then you start moving to your body. So actions speak louder than words. You can pay yourself when you're broke. And hopefully, this podcast, it's a real quick one, but hopefully it helps out for you guys and sorry, and what you guys uh, um can accomplish in life on that topic, that subject. So, with that being said, I hope that you guys, have a great 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, when I come back, we're gonna have a great podcast. It'll be back home at our normal settings, and me and Tala are gonna go through a topic, um, a few topics maybe that will be so helpful to everybody in our growing Samoan community and everybody who's just now tuning in and listening too. So before I end this podcast, once again, if you are new and if you haven't, please subscribe to our podcast. Go to iTunes and rate, review, and comment on our iTunes or anywhere that you listen to the podcast on, and also our YouTube page at Growin Samoan. If you want to leave a comment there and subscribe, we're more than happy for you guys. You guys can also do that too. Um, before I end this, I am going to read a review from our I think our iTunes page here. And this review is from one of our listeners. And once again, thank you for our listeners. If you have a review, um, go to our iTunes or YouTube channel, iTunes or YouTube channel, and leave a review, and we'll read it because this podcast is for you, our growing Samoan listeners, and everybody out there who can relate to our journey and our stories. So, this review is a 5-star rating. Thank you very much for the 5-star rating. And the topic is, it says, the best with the exclamation mark. Boom, the best. And it reads, thank you guys for sharing your knowledge of finances with us. Forgive me for not writing a review sooner because I have learned a lot. You guys are the real deal. Love you guys. And this was from Tanya Sparkles. Thank you, Tanya Sparkles. Love you so much and everything that you do because I know who you are. Tanya Sparkles, you are amazing. You are an amazing woman too. And I would love to have you on our podcast because there are some things that we talked about with you, and oh my gosh, you have so much things to talk about on our podcast that can benefit so many people out there in the world. So hopefully we could get Tanya Sparkles on this podcast also. And from with that being said, yeah, thank you so much, Tanya. You're the best. You're awesome too. Um, so all our listeners, please, if you leave a comment or a review, and we'll read it because this is for you. Once again, thank you for tuning in. The health tip of the day. Let's see. The health tip of the day. I don't know. It's tough. Sometimes my health tip of the day for is that if you're on a journey, whatever health journey it may be, sometimes you're gonna fall. Sometimes you're gonna stumble. Sometimes you might backslide, and you're gonna have a day where you think that you cheated or you went against whatever plan or diet plan or whatever it may be, exercise routine you skipped, or or meal you missed. You know what? Sometimes that's just life. But if you have the majority of it on a healthy tip, whether it's working out or eating healthier, if you're doing the majority of that more than not working out or eating junk food, it's okay. That's my tip of the day. Sometimes you're gonna fall, you're gonna slide back a little bit, but you know what? It's okay. Why? Because you're gonna bounce back. A great quote that I heard is the greatest thing about the human body is that you could shape it into whatever you want at any time. It's all up to you. Let me say that again. The greatest thing about the human body is that you can shape it to any form, anytime you want. And it's true. It's all up to us. Hey, I'm living that same life too. I'm trying to do the healthy thing and live life on a healthier level. Sometimes I slip and I slide back and have a little big crazy meal, but it's okay. As long as you eat the majority or working out the majority on the healthy side, guess what? That old healthier side will overcome the bad side. So, just a health tip of the day. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. I love you guys. Please stay tuned for our next episode. It's going to be a good one. And with that being said, I think I had everything. Let me just double check on my notes here. Um, yeah, that's it. We're available on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Um, so you know, I love you guys. Once again, stay tuned for the next episode. And once again, share this with your family, your friends. Growing Samoan is if you go to the YouTube page, it got dark. I started this a little late, but um yeah, the park, I love being outdoors. It's so beautiful out here. Get outdoors, people. Enjoy Mother Nature. Smell that fresh air. I love it. We got a tennis court in the background, basketball court in the background, the beautiful sunset going down in the Pacific Northwest. And with that being said, love you guys. Keep growing. Keep growing, y'all. Keep growing. Keep growing. Growing Samoan. Love you guys. And till next time. Peace out. Peace.